Hello, everyone. I returned with the continuation of the stream, but with a different topic: battleships. We're going to be starting on a new project. And though I did say that I was going to be going and redesigning a previous fighter or creating a new fighter for the carrier that we just finished, I'm going to take a little bit of a detour and I'm going to reapproach that topic later. So bear with me. And now, let's get to it. I'm gonna switch back to my normal voice now. Uh, so with this stream, I know a lot of people have been talking about tutorials and stuff like that. Um, there has been a tutorial that I made on how to make a destroyer, or at least a destroyer model that I posted about on some of my previous videos, and also used to scale in some of my videos on my channel. So, for those of you who don't tune in to the channel on a regular basis for the streams, because of course they're late at night, or you don't preview the streams, you know, after they're made, in the next day whenever they're processed and all that stuff. This is just an announcement, PSA. There is a tutorial walkthrough online. It is, I believe, a 16. Actually, no, it's a 19 part tutorial, and they're relatively short and to the point. But it's slowed down, so it's not, me uh, speeding through it like some of my previous videos were. It is, completely slowed down, step by step, just like the streams have been. And you can see how long, I've put into them. Since it's a larger ship, that means more time, obviously. So, with the streams being as long as they are, you can see the kind of dedication and work that, you have to put into this. So, though the streams may not have tutorial in them, they are pretty much a step by step, a step by step process of how I go about designing my models. So, um, please take heed to that, and hopefully there won't be any more confusion or, people asking whether or not there's going to be tutorials. Because, again, my streams, stuff like that, are pretty much tutorials in themselves. And then, of course, I always go into depth, especially in the last few streams, of what my mentality is in my universe, stuff like that. Why I model the way I model, why ships look the way they do, you know, and stuff of that nature. So definitely take that into account as well. Without further ado, again, let's continue with this battleship. Now, battleships in my universe are important capital ships, but they're not as important as, say, a carrier is. Obviously, a carrier is more like a central hub for um, operations, especially ground operations. So there's dropships coming in, there's fighters coming in, there's drop pods being launched. A carrier is as busy as an airport, obviously. You know, and if it's a military airport, then it's going to be even more busy. So with battleships, they come in as, of course, miniature dreadnoughts. So they're force multipliers, definitely. And I guess my organizational chart goes by battleships being kind of like task force commander ships. So they're not necessarily home to an admiral per se, but when detachments from fleets and stuff of that nature are, they need a lead ship, the battleship is usually something that could be used as a lead ship, followed by cruisers, destroyers, and frigates and stuff of that nature for support, of course. And then this is also for pretty much handling minor threats, or excuse me, minor to medium, and then possibly somewhat large. As small threats meaning like threats against like pirates in like frigate cruiser class ships, and then medium to possibly high level threats meaning pirates with same class ships, so battleships, possibly carrier class vessel, or possibly a dreadnought. But if there's a possibility of dreadnoughts or any super capital class type of ship in the engagement, whether it be pirates or another military, then 9 times out of 10, the the Navy is going to have more of a specialized presence there. So there would probably be a carrier involved, or there may be, dreadnoughts of our own that are going to be involved normally because you want to fight relatively on the same level or have a strategy to counter the dreadnoughts. And the way my universe is set up, saturation attacks from multiple different types of turrets and stuff of that nature is, at least the primary way of fighting. So if, a ship has numerous turrets, that means it can counter on numerous occasions and focus fire and do a lot of damage. So you're gonna want to have something that can dish out and take as much damage as possible when dealing with dreadnoughts. So with that in mind, I'm gonna open up some inspiration because I have some really really interesting art that I might use as a basis for the battleship. Now I'm not 100% sure on how it's gonna look, but I'm gonna try my best to make it work. Okay, we're gonna start with a face here, and then this is gonna be kind of like a side one here. So now one thing that I'm gonna try and incorporate into this, and it may not fit inside the way my universe, at least human ships are designed, but I want to try and incorporate a little bit more of a curve with this ship. Now, from my previous battleship model, which honestly I need to redo because it looks like a clusterfuck, honestly, um, it was there was a lot of weaponry on it, and it had like specialized turrets. It was like a tri-barrel like plasma turret. So if you remember my flak turret, just imagine having 3 barrels instead of two, and it had a set of three on each side, and the uh, the cannons were propped on the turret, and then there'd be several of those turrets layered around the ship. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna go about that route, but I know for a fact the ship is gonna be relatively heavily armed. I just don't know what turrets are gonna be on it. And I also have to take into account that I'm not gonna be using the dreadnought turrets, so I have to find a supplement for those. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna use like the probably gonna use the tri-barrel turrets, and probably I'm probably gonna go into, like, I guess you could call it a research and development phase, if you will, and actually design some other turrets. So you guys will be able to view my turret modeling as well, because I know that you guys didn't see. Oh God, you guys didn't see the when I was designing the flak turret. Actually, yeah, I did. I think I did have a. Yeah, I did. I had a side screen of it, so yeah, you saw that. But yeah. So I'm trying to probably remodel some of my old turrets as well. There's gonna be a lot of remodeling if you haven't, caught on. And that's mainly because a lot of my models, need to need to be updated because I get into more and more detail with my ships nowadays. So, hmm, oops. All right. Let's see here. Let's bring this back a little bit. And let's make this a group for now. One thing that, or one strategy that I like using now, I don't know if anyone's picked up on it, is, well, actually, you probably can't pick up on it because you probably think it's just me creating components. But one thing that I like doing as a prototype method for like certain parts of the ship, I'll make them groups. So I won't make them full-fledged components because, blah, blah, blah. If it's a full-fledged component and it turns out that you don't want that component, then you just have like a random list of stuff that you don't necessarily use anymore in your components list. So I make them into groups, and then once have decided, okay, this is gonna be that part, that I want to use, then I'll I'll explode the component. Well, obviously I move the part away from any other faces, explode the component, make it a component, or explode the group, make it a component, and then go on from there. Hmm. I don't like the way this is going. See, so take this out. Oops, not added the group. I'll just delete it all together. Let's see here. How am I gonna do this? Hmm. Let's see if I can bring up some more inspiration and kind of give me a generalized idea. Okay, yeah. One thing that I'm also trying to do is kind of get away from yeah, I guess like the hexagonal type structures of the ships. And what I mean by that is if you look at the Pillar of Autumn and you look at some of my cruiser type ships, and of course my frigate ships are always they're influenced by Halo, stuff of that nature. Pillar of Autumn's superstructure was hexagonal, which added to its support and overall its its durability in fights and stuff like that, especially against the Covenant. So that made it a really interesting ship. So I liked making my cruisers and stuff of that nature either similar to the Pillar of Autumn in nature, or I made them similar to the Marathon class cruisers. And then, of course, later on, I started modeling and using influences from like the Valiant and the super carriers. I think it was the not the Everest. That's Mass Effect, but the Trafalgar. I think that's how you pronounce it. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too good with the name on that one, but stuff like that. And I'm trying to kind of get away from that, add a little bit more flavor to the ships, and see where that goes. Yeah, that's one of the downsides to having components is that it doesn't update it, so you can't get like a full spectrum of what the parts are gonna look like until you either copy and mirror it or you do it on the other component. So this has its ups and downs, but yeah. So I'm just gonna get rid of this concept altogether, and then what I'll do is I'll do this. Okay, let's delete that. Yeah, I like that better. And then we'll do this and cut that off, make it a little bit angular there. Cut this off. And then we'll go ahead and make this a group just to see where this is gonna go. Okay, we'll start the music now. I'm trying to update something on here. I'm trying to get my live feed to pop up without me having to actually go digging around for it. So, subscriber, live now. There we go. Okay. So copy that. Alright, cool beans. take a momentary pause here and do some calculations real start getting into like lengthening stuff is I need to import a model here. What I should be doing is loading up the Battleship model, not necessarily the Caliban, honestly. Ah, see? Look how small that is compared to that. Holy shit. Apple though. Oh, never mind. I just like that. But yeah, as you can see, this is the my first battleship model, and to say the least, I need to remodel this. It needs to be updated heavily. Be a lot more armor. carrier, by the way, is probably like 50 times this size, which should not be the case. It should be more about maybe 3 or 4 times the size of the ship. Although a lot of the turrets on here definitely may be used. I'm thinking about probably remodeling this turret here. It's funny that I found it and it's already been remodeled again. This for right now. Remember that for reference. The Moldava class battleship is definitely a reference point. Let's go ahead and save this as battleship class. We'll save this as sometimes it eats me up and shits me out like a fucking dinosaur. high CPU usage for me on this one. Download audio from the website. Down open web. Game controls by click on it. Twist and install. Just music and voice. I understand the 3D programming on that, but SketchUp goes up there. SketchUp is not even that high anymore now. It's the Windows audio. That doesn't make any damn sense. Okay, there we go. Of course, CPU is going to be kind of up there. Is it because maybe that I had the audio on my headset? Let's see if it brings back up there. Can you guys still hear me? Fix my CPU problems that I've been having recently. SketchUp is kind of up there, but it's usually more intense when I have my carry model because it has the most detail in it. This model that has barely anything modeled, so we have the general scaling done now for the ship, which is a good thing that I did that ahead of time, so I don't have to worry about it before. Problem with scaling and having to scale down ships to get to a certain height and length and stuff of that nature is do that after the fact. Your turrets and your other components of that nature get disproportionate to the ship's size. So like say for instance, I have my carrier is probably gonna have that problem when I scale it down. So if I scale it down, there's my carrier and my dreadnought actually. The dreadnought models that I have, when they get scaled down, the turrets are gonna be a lot smaller. You know, the components are gonna be a lot smaller. The ship is gonna be long, yes. The ship is gonna be big, yes. But I mean, the terms of the size and how you want them to be portrayed and stuff of that nature in the ship, it sometimes it skews that. So you got to be careful and try and do it beforehand. crap out of me. Alarms are scary, guys. Very, very scary. On that note, Oh. may or may not have dropped my phone. Let's divide this into. Yeah, we'll divide it by 60. Actually, no. Let me make sure that it's odd. Because if it's not odd, then it's gonna be very awkward. It's not gonna be even. Oops. There we go. That way we can just delete the middle ones, and everything is even. Yay! I'm just gonna make sure all the faces are correct. Alright, good deal, good deal, good deal. Oopsie. Let's completely get rid of all that. At this point right now, I'm just kind of playing around to see what I can do with this portion of the model. stop. Actually, no, I need to stop playing that anime music because knowing my luck, they'll probably end up banning the damn stream. So let's not even risk that. Let's play some music that isn't going to get banned as easily. Let us see. What music shall we play? Let's see. All right, let's do this.
Musicians never talk to you, you know. I decided I'd just talk to you, you know, because I just want to tell you that some of the music we play is really not geared for your bumping enjoyment. It's geared for you to think. So for those of you who don't think too much, I'm just telling you about that shit before we drop it on you.
Bless you. There's no sun in here. How the hell did you sneeze?
windows I've yet to look through. Going forward may not be the answer. Maybe I should go back. Going forward may not be the answer. Maybe I should go back.
Some musical rhythms can mess with your head.
What plaything can you offer me today?
An obscure body of the SK system, Your Majesty. The inhabitants refer to it as the planet Earth.
How peaceful it looks.
Most effective, Your Majesty. Will you destroy this Earth?
Later. I like to play with things a while. Before annihilation.
It's no fun to think about a nuclear bomb attack. It's no fun to talk about it. It's difficult for an American to imagine the enemy ravaging our cities and lush green countryside. An enemy who desires to bury us. Yet, think about it, we must. Talk about it, we must. Imagine it, we must. Act, we must. And act, you must.
Musicians never talk to you, you know. Musicians never talk to you, you know. I decided I'd just talk to you, you know, because I just want to tell you that some of the music we play is really not geared for your bumping enjoyment. It's geared for you to think. So for those of you who don't think too much, I'm just telling you about that shit before we drop it on you.
If you begin to feel overload, we'll begin to feel what we are saying. If you begin to feel overload, consider your Earth. What do you feel?